Yeah, man. So yesterday I dropped a video entitled "Are There Real Mexican Pimps?" And what a lot of y'all didn't understand was the fact that that video was merely a stage. And like some goofballs who can't resist the stage, a lot of y'all got up on that stage and exposed the fact that the game never knew you. So I got to come with it, man. I got to come with this Ginsu, man. You dig? So in the words of Della Reese, outside, he behind that screen. Nah, not that Della Reese. I'm talking about the original legendary Della Reese. You dig?
Now I got to cut you.
Yeah, man, I got to cut you. So we gonna get into it, man. But first, wipe your feet off at the door when you step into a pimp's domain. Let's go.
Bitch, you want all this pimping you can't afford. Perform like a punk, but want a winner's reward. Some suckers give you points, but bitch, you never scored. If you ain't paying pimping, then bitch, you getting ignored. Okay, I'm so sick of these.
Yeah, man. You know, Pimpin' saw them lame ass comments y'all was making on that video, man. I seen it, man, and I can't unsee it. You know what I mean? That's why I can't unchop y'all asses like I'm about to do, you dig? Hey, man. See, I'm disappointed in a lot of y'all fellas, man, because y'all really, responded to that video like the ladies, man. You know what I mean? Y'all really responded like y'all was some of the girls, man. Or excuse me, let me say reacted. Y'all reacted to that video like y'all was some of the girls, man. You dig? Like y'all just couldn't resist being ladies, man. Like y'all pushed the ladies to the side, man. You know what I mean? So you could beat them to the punch to act like women, man. You know, it's crazy. You dig? Because if you pay attention to the video, I never said whether or not there is a such thing as Mexican pimps, white pimps, Asian pimps, anything that is non-black. I never said whether or not there are or, are not. I never said that. But what I did do was pose the question to y'all, how are you any more pimpish than these people that you criticize and say ain't the pimping? You dig? And the reason why I asked that question is because I wanted to hold the mirror up to yourself, man. You dig? So that you could see that with a lot of y'all, man, the game never knew you. Seriously, man, the game never knew you. Because, the reason why I even decided to touch on this topic, man, is because a lot of y'all got criticism for certain individuals that, try to emulate this game, people that are non-black. But what you don't understand is why a lot of them are inclined to do so is because y'all goofy asses make the game look extremely simple. You make this pimping look like something that anybody could just wake up and just wash their face, brush their teeth, and now they some pimping. Y'all make the game look simple. Y'all make pimping look like it's something that anybody can do and anybody can be. You dig? See, me, you could look at me and tell, you could listen to me and tell, you can just merely observe me and tell that I'm not something that you could just be whenever you feel like it, that anybody could just be. No, people don't look at me and say, you know what, I'm gonna be that too. No, because they know it's not easy. You know what I mean? I know it's not easy being me. I know everything that goes into being me. I know all the blessings that were bestowed upon me that weren't bestowed upon a lot of y'all. And I know all the work that I put in with those blessings to develop myself into the pimp that I am, to represent this game the way that I do, to put this shit on display the way that I do. And a lot of y'all don't have it. That's why you responded the way you did. You did. That's why you reacted the way that you did. Saying all the, goofy shit y'all was saying in the comment section. I ain't even gonna get into all of that. Y'all know what you said and you know how you exposed yourself. But, that's what happens when, a lot of y'all who act like your mama, and no offense to your mama, but a lot of y'all, that's all is what you seen your mama doing. So when you faced with a challenge, you respond to challenges or you react to challenges the same way your mama would have, right? But the problem with that is, hey man, when you a man, you're not supposed to respond to challenges the same way that a woman do, man. You dig? You got to respond to this shit like a man. And if you supposed to be some pimping, you supposed to respond to this shit with some game. You dig? And it might appear like a manipulation tactic because of the way I'm responding to the last video and this video, but no, it ain't a manipulation tactic. You know, really what y'all did was, you know, you manipulated yourself against the game. You know, because y'all want to have so much criticism against this ism, man. Hey man, but you man, you sorely mistaken, man. You tripping. You dig? Because again, I never said whether or not, you know, there are real Mexican pimps, white pimps, Asian pimps, whatever. I never gave an answer to that. And I told y'all that before I answer that question, you know what I mean, y'all answer my question on what makes you so much more pimpish. Because, you know, what I know is that being a black man alone don't make you no pimping. Because if that's the case, then why we got so many black trick ass ninjas out here? You dig? How come so many of y'all that's supposed to be the pimping, you know, maneuver through the game with trick tactics? You know what I mean? How come so many of y'all that's blacker than Yaphet Kotto, that's blacker than Wesley Snipes, you know what I mean, that's blacker than Harambe? You know how come so many of y'all is tricks to the core, black as hell and tricking as hell? You dig? So that lets you know that being black alone don't make you the pimping, right? And it's a lot of y'all black asses that the game never knew. That's why I'm letting you know. The game never knew you, right? To try to criticize my ism, like y'all done did half as much as I done did in this game and represented the game the way I do, and you know, then invested in myself the way that I do, and like y'all done did that. Like, come on, man, knock it off. You dig? You know what I mean? Like, it's so many of y'all that if I was that type of dude, I could slide a 304 right up under you and turn your whole world upside down. Because that's how naive y'all are. You know what I mean? That's how easily manipulated a lot of y'all are. You know what I mean? That's how much of a sucker for a 304 y'all are. You dig? A lot of y'all don't have no standards. A lot of y'all don't have no requirements. You dig? A lot of y'all is real easy to be. It's easy as hell to be you. That's why so many white boys, Mexicans and Asians and non-blacks think they could be the pimping, because they looking at y'all simple asses. They like, damn, if he's a pimp, I know I could be a pimp. Right? But see, if more y'all, this participants in the game, represent the game the way that you supposed to, you know, people would look at you, you know, and say to themselves like, nah, I can't do that. Ain't no way I could do that. Ain't no way I could be like him. You know what I mean? He's something different. He's special. You dig? You know, this pimping is like being Michael Jordan, man. You know, when somebody look at Michael Jordan, they know they can't just do what Mike do, because Michael Jordan's an exceptional individual. It's the same thing with this pimping, man. When somebody look at the pimping, I'm talking about some real actual pimping, not some, you know, simple-minded, goofy, you know, can't stop gang banging, can't stop putting it on the dead homies and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? This a trick and a slave to dope. This a trick and a slave to pills, powder, you know, alcohol. This a trick and a slave to bad food. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, yeah, you know, they looking at y'all and saying like, man, I could easily do that. I ain't talking about y'all. You know what I mean? I'm talking about some real pimping though. When somebody look at some real pimping, they know that they just can't snap their finger and be that whenever they feel like it. But a lot of y'all, you can snap your finger and be you in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? It's real easy to be a lot of y'all. You know what I mean? How easy is it to put on some designer clothes? A lot of y'all funny built as hell. You know what I mean? Eat bad, sleep too damn much, don't exercise, don't take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Built like somebody baby mama who got 5 babies by 10 different baby daddies. Yeah, a lot of y'all, you know what I mean? How easy is it to put on some designer clothes, you know what I mean, get a styrofoam cup with some bullshit in it, you know what I mean, and say, hey now, say now, and get a bunch of stupid ass tattoos all over your body that look like you paid for them with top ramen soups in the penitentiary. You know what I mean? How easy is it to do that? You know what I mean? To you know, jump out on Fig and chase bitches down like you a track star, like you Usain Bolt running down Hope, hoping that you get this 304 to open her purse and give you something. You dig? Man, how easy is it to do that? You know what I mean? How easy is it to, you know, harass chicks in they DM, to say all the same stupid ass shit? You know what I mean? How easy is it to be a groupie to a 304? To be a 304's number one groupie, like a lot of y'all are. You know what I mean? How easy is it to act like a bitch to get a bitch? You know what I mean? How easy is it to, you know, be one of the girls in order to get one of the girls? You know what I mean? Sit up socializing with chicks. You know what I mean? Y'all going live with them. You on Bigo looking like straight bozos. You know what I mean? Gossiping about other pimps, you know, and you know, got your fingers crossed and everything, hoping that this chick break herself to you. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all is easy to be. Ain't nothing special about y'all. That's why when a Mexican who's fascinated by the game look at y'all, he say to himself, you know what, man, I could do that too. I could be that too. And guess what? He do it and he be it. You know what I mean? He out there just like y'all, doing the same shit y'all doing, being the same type of person y'all being, and all y'all got the same shit in common. Ain't none of y'all pimps. The Mexican ain't no pimp, and ain't none of y'all no damn pimps neither. All of y'all is easy as hell to be. All of y'all are individuals that anybody could be. You know what I mean? A monkey with pockets could be a lot of y'all. You know what I mean? I could really take a monkey, dress his ass up, you know what I mean, make sure he got some pants with some pockets in them, and put him out there on the blade, and he'll be the same thing as y'all. For real though. He might even be a little more gamed up than y'all because he being laced by me. You dig? He might have a little more pimping with him. You know what I mean? That monkey might come out there and knock all of y'all socks off, you dig? Just because he getting laced by Freeze the Pimp, you dig? But man, it ain't nothing to be y'all. You know what I mean? So don't get mad at me. Don't look at me. Don't try to have criticism on my ism. No, look at yourself. Because y'all, a lot of y'all is too easy to be. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all ain't opened a book in 2025. A lot of y'all ain't did one exercise in 2025. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all ain't ate no fruit and vegetables in 2025. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all ain't put no love in your body in months and weeks. You dig? It's real easy to be a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all ain't got no discipline. You know what I mean? You don't inspire or motivate anybody to be greater than what they are. You know what I mean? You get a lot of you know, chicks that's easy to have, chicks that I wouldn't even accept, chicks that I wouldn't even look at twice. You know what I mean? Chicks that'll get fired before they get hired by me. You know what I mean? Y'all go round up a bunch of them, you know, and you really scammers acting like pimps. And, you know, sending chicks out there to pretend like they 304s, but really, you know, they just sit on their phone all day and act like 304s because they know that's all that's required to get one of y'all, you know what I mean, to really do a whole bunch of tricking on them because they ain't getting no damn money. But, you know, you such a cold scammer with everything. You dig? You really just tricking on these chicks in order to get them rallied up with you and act like 304s and call you daddy. And, you know, maybe hand you $100 every other day, you know, while you making thousands off of what you doing. You hustling harder than them, you know what I mean? And you ain't even teaching them how to hustle as hard as you. You know what I mean? You breaking your back, man. You sending yourself and mashing on yourself harder than you have ever any 304. You dig? And gonna try to criticize my pimping. Boy, y'all need to knock it off, man. Y'all, man, this shit's crazy, man. This shit is hilarious, man. This shit is y'all. A lot of y'all really need to be down at the Comedy Store, the Laugh Factory, or something with the comedy that y'all got going on, man. A lot of y'all hilarious than a mug, man. But like I said, man, a lot of you, the game never knew you. And rather than answer the question, not even to me, but to yourself, how are you more pimpish than a Mexican claiming to be some pimping or any of that, you know, rather than, you know, pose that question to yourself. It's a lot easier, like I said, to act like your mama and put some criticism on the next man. You dig? But now, you know, I just got to keep it 100 though, man. The game never knew a lot of y'all. You know, for real though. You dig? So again, I asked the question, what makes you so much more pimpish than this Mexican that's claiming to be a pimp? Because again, the reason why he believes that he could be a pimp is because he's looking at y'all. He didn't look at Freeze and say, oh man, I could do that too. No. You know what I mean? That's why you got a lot of squares that watch Freeze and know that they can't be Freeze, they ain't trying to be Freeze, comfortable in the fact that they are who they are. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm humbled by the fact that they get inspired by a pimp. You dig? Without trying to act like a pimp and be a pimp, being they self, comfortable in their own skin. You dig? But you know, back to the Mexican, man, he looking at y'all. He watching y'all, you know, high as hell and can't spell, goofy asses on social media, you know, knocking chicks and everything like that. And, you know, he like, man, I could do that too. These dudes ain't smarter than me. They not more handsome than me. They not flyer than me. They ain't got, you know, better way with the ladies than me. Everything that they doing, I could do better. You know what I mean? If they could do it, I definitely can do it. And not only can I do it, I could do it better than them. This is how y'all make everybody feel. You know what I mean? Especially when y'all putting it on the dead homies like pimps never do. You know what I mean? You know, letting your 304s just run wild. You know what I mean? Your chicks is going to the track to fight and bang on other chicks before they catch a date and all that type of shit. You know what I mean? They dusty, y'all dusty. You know, it's just a total misrepresentation of the game. You know, I go on and on with this shit, man, but the bottom line is, man, the game never knew you, and that's why all these people was running around thinking they could be pimps, because it's so easy to be you. You dig? Let that marinate on your mind one time. Freezes it. Go ahead, put some of this good old love in your body like so. And of course, as always, long live the incomparable Sinful to P. We out. Dig this.
Love.
I've been stroking relentless, took it waves like this. I spoke into existence for her to pay like this. In the trenches on a day like this, traffic consistent, and so I have to insist that she relay my chips. It's a trap with her name on it and my game on it. Any forces coming against this game, shame on it. Standing on my pimpin' from day one and remain on it. It carried me through every terrain and I gained on it. Experience joy and pain on it, sustained on it.
But getting back to this game that I never left.
Baby, I wait.